You know, the past couple years when we've done this comparison, a couple years ago when it was the Pixel 6a versus the Galaxy A53, and then last year the Galaxy A54 versus the Pixel 7a, it felt like the two companies, Google and Samsung, were at least vying for the same general customer. They were out to get the same person to choose between those two devices at the same price point, relatively kind of the same philosophy around design and all the rest of it. This year, it doesn't feel that way. These are two very different devices, and that's why I went with apples and oranges, you could tell in the title, because it's not one company or the other that made some sort of drastic change. It's both of them that kind of went in a different direction with the devices this year for their mid-range offerings. You have the Pixel 8a that kind of got back design-wise to a earlier time of a goofy, kind of quirky Pixel designs, and then you have Samsung opting for a borderline premium flagship build and experience on the Galaxy A55. Word of warning, of course, links for both these will be in the description. Does help the channel. However, the A55 T-Mobile in the United States, you're going to be limited there, while as the Pixel 8a you could pick up unlocked and you could have it on any carrier that you please. So let's talk about those design elements right off the bat. Number one, you got the plastic back here on the Pixel 8a. You've got the metal frame at least, and you've got the bezels that everybody talks about and all the rest of it, and the very rounded corners. But you do have that 6.1-inch display size, so it keeps it rather pocketable and light in your hand. It's easy to hold. It's actually just a joy to use in general at that size, and I like it. People might question the design. They might say, "Oh, it's just it looks like a toy," or whatever else. I like when Google goes back to the goofy design. They're not going to go toe-to-toe design-wise with major flagship with Samsung or Motorola or whoever else. Lean into what makes your device different. Lean into what makes your device special. And I think that Google's kind of getting back to that, either love it or hate it, on the Pixel, and you could see that with the Pixel 8a. Samsung went a completely different direction. I've said this before. If you handed me this device and said, this is Samsung's flagship for this year, this was the S24 Plus, I would believe you. I wouldn't have any, until I turned it on and started using it, I would not doubt that this was the S24 Plus. It's the brushed aluminum frame, Gorilla Glass Victus on the front, just an overall, a glass back, just an overall premium experience in the hand. But you do have it's a heavier device, 6.6-inch display. I know a lot of people complained about that up in display size. A lot of people said that 6.4 inches last year on the Galaxy A54 was perfect. Why'd they go ahead and up it to the 6.6? And you do notice that difference. It is a big device. It is like all those other devices. It seems like that's the inflection point. When you get to that 6.4-inch display, it kind of can sort of be a compact device. But when you get above that, then you're kind of looking at the larger devices, and it does feel and hold like a much larger device in the hand. Let's talk about those displays. We talked about the sizes of them. Also different kind of experience and philosophy here. The Pixel 8a solved one of the huge problems that I've had on the A series for years. That's the brightness and saturation on the A series panels. They were always dull. They were always dim. They weren't fantastic, even though they were OLEDs. That has been fixed with, look at the dwarfing here, but just to hammer home the display and the size comparison there. But nice display this year. Reasonably bright. Is it the brightest thing in the world? No, but coming from other A series devices, is a very bright and saturated display, quite nice. Meanwhile, the A55 has a gorgeous display as well. Both 1080p, both 120 hertz, so you're not going to be lacking there. Really nice, sharp, crisp panel, kind of going with that color, whatever temperature that they've had on the S24 Ultra, backing away from the saturation there. Some people may like that. Some people may not. But just understand that you've got the bezels here, which people complain about on the Pixel 8a, but that's just the way it is. But you can see there is a difference in philosophy again there on the display. For the first time in years, it seems like Samsung is going for the more natural color temperature as opposed to the Google Pixel, which is going for a more saturated and a brighter display. One quick note about the build quality. A lot of people say they preferred the plastic on the back of the Pixel 8a. They say you could carry it around caseless. I happen to love that when you can carry a device around caseless. So they worry less about it cracking and all the rest of it, so they actually prefer having that smaller design with the plastic build. Software, you're getting the 7 years of support over here on the Pixel 8a. That's impressive. No slouch over here in the mid-range. I think it's 5 years of security updates altogether on the A55, so you're really not losing a whole lot there. It's a difference for sure. If you keep your phone for years, that certainly plays into your buying decision, but I think you're going to like both, and it really does come down to which software experience you like. At this point, you understand which one that you enjoy better. Do you enjoy the Pixel experience? Then you're going to like the Pixel 8a. Do you enjoy the Galaxy Samsung One UI experience? Then you're going to enjoy the A55. So there, I think there's really no surprises there. It's really just which one is preference. Battery life, the A55 surprised me, and the Exynos, by extension, the Exynos 1480, really surprised me on battery life for the A55. Phenomenal battery life. Over 8 hours of screen on time, and you could probably stretch that even more if you wanted. That is phenomenal. Really great, especially coming from last year's A55 where you were kind of sweating to get to 6 hours of screen on time. So that's really good. Nice to see that power efficiency out of the Exynos in the A55. The Tensor G3 doesn't do poorly. Now, you get that performance boost there. The Tensor G3 is more powerful than the 1480. You're going to get slightly better gaming, even though it's not really meant for that. Some things like that. But the overheating, things like that had plagued previous Tensors really isn't in the G3. So you're going to get nice performance. You're not going to have a heat problem, but you're not really getting the power efficiency that you get over here with the Exynos. But you get the additional power, you get the additional performance to account for that. So that's kind of where it lands. Do you need the extra boost there, or do you want the extra battery life? Because it's a significant difference, about 2 hours of screen on time difference between the two, ruling in the A55's favor. Camera, of course, Pixel. I'm not even going to throw. Let's put aside the fact that the camera on the A55 needs work, needs help, software-wise, whatever it is. Dull, drab images, not good. This is a Pixel camera. You're going to get all the computational photography. I don't care that it's a generation behind. That 64-megapixel sensor that they put in the 8A is kind of a generation behind. You know the magic that they come up with. They have all the rest of it. You can have the Magic Editor, Magic Eraser, all the rest of it. So that's something that you could take into account. Samsung does have some work over here. So if you're a big-time shutterbug in the mid-range, the Pixel 8a is still going to be the one that you get. And I touched on performance a little bit as we get some Slack messages there. I touched on performance a little bit in these, but it's not drastic. You're not going to notice a huge difference. You're going to game reasonably well on both. I like gaming on the A55. I like the extra screen real estate that you get for gaming. PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile, Pokemon Go, all the rest of it. Do I think you get slightly better frames? I like the saturation a little bit better on the Pixel 8a. Yes, but there's a trade-off there. You got to deal with the display size and all the rest of it. So it really just feels like I said, unlike previous years, where it felt like these two devices were competing for the same customer, display size-wise, price, all the rest of it. I don't think that's the case anymore. Google is trying to get those people that just love a Pixel, want kind of a quirky, cute kind of Pixel in their pocket. This is the 8a. It's going to go on sale. It's going to be the carrier special Pixel. It's going to be the one, I think Verizon or T-Mobile had it. You sign up for a new account, you get it for free. That type of deal, okay? We can save the Pixel 8 conversation for another day, but this is the phone that for people who just want that kind of compact device with the power that Google offers in the flagship range, 8 gigs of RAM, all the rest of it. That's what you get over here with the Pixel 8a. Samsung is going for a customer that is not spending the big money on the S24, still wants a premium One UI experience, still wants a premium build, bigger display, and that's why they've kind of gone here. So it's a really, really interesting year for these two devices. You got the $500 over here, $450, but it's already coming down. This is the case every year because this one releases a little bit earlier. You're going to always see about a $50 at least price gap between these two. For my money, if it's a $50 or more gap, I'm probably going the A55. Only because I like Samsung. I like One UI. I like a lot of the stuff that they have there. However, this is one where I really do enjoy having the Pixel and using it. It's one of my favorite Pixels in years. I love the Pixel 8 Pro, but there's something about a really fun, compact phone with nice colors, quirky design, and all the rest of it that reminds me of Android from 10 years ago or so, and certainly earlier Pixel devices. So if you're looking for that experience, if you're looking for just something fun and different, then the Pixel 8a is for you. If you're looking for that just hardcore Samsung One UI experience with a phenomenal build, premium build, then the A55 is the one you're going to want to take a look at. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have the Steve-licious day.